Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Okay, listen, I know y'all have seen all over social media about Todd's response to Kandi's divorce filing, and a lot of people are feeling like Mama Joyce was right all along. They feel like a lot of people owe her an apology because it seems like, based off what some of his requests, is that he's after the money the way Mama Joyce felt like he was. And I know that Todd made the decision to quit his job on Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's where it all started. Now, I know based off of that Black Love episode that they did, that Kandi said that somebody on the team told her that Todd like you. She was like, who is this Todd? They finally get to talking. Then they get in a situationship because they, sneaking around for a couple of months, because according to Kandi, it was like a fourth wall situation. Cast/talent was not supposed to be messing around with production because they saw it as, oh, you'll be giving secrets away, this, that, and the other. So she asked Todd, like, what are we gonna do? Because I'm not just gonna be messing around with you or whatever. Is this gonna be a real thing? And Todd was like, dang, I ain't never had no woman to come, to me like that. And plus, I just got in Atlanta. Can I just have some fun? Sow my raw oats and all that. He said, but seeing the type of woman that Kandi was, and he never had anybody like a woman in his life to make him make a decision like that, somebody that he was in a relationship with, and the fact that she had asked him to pray with her and he never had nobody do that, he just saw her as a different type of woman. So he was like, yeah, we can do that thing, we can do it, you know what I'm saying? But they ran into a hurdle, because if they gonna do it and we not finna be sneaking around, we finna make it public, that means we have to tell the network, because now we have broke the rule. So that would mean Todd would have to quit his job. But in that episode, Kandi did say that if they go to the network and they say, no, this ain't gonna work, she was willing to quit the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But Todd says, well, I knew that she was bringing a fat check, so you know what, I'll quit. But the next thing that happened, he would have to be on the show. He didn't want to be on the show, but his mama was like, well, you knew that if you got with her and she's on the show, then you would have to be on the show. He said, well, I got with her, not for this show. But eventually it was his mom who talked him into being on the show. Okay, that you get that part done. So now Kandi says the whole time in her mind is that she wants to show him that even though you quit your job, there are ways that when you love somebody, y'all put your brains together and y'all make things happen. She said, because there are things that Todd know that I don't know, and there are things that I know that Todd doesn't know, but if we put it together, we can make magic. So she said the month after he quit his job, they had a project together, and Todd said that he brought home almost a quarter of what he would have made in a year. So she was like, Todd has always made good money, even though people felt like I was taking care of him. But when it comes to these bills in this house, these bills, these kids, all this, that, and the other, that's Todd's money. Because I always wanted a man, if something happened to me, I know that this house and these kids and all that is taken care of. She said, now when it comes to my money is the big things like the cars and the vacations and stuff like that. So I don't ever want people to feel like he just, eating off of me or whatever. But when it came to her mama, she said her mama didn't want to hear none of it, because her mama is old school and she feel like the man should always make more than the woman, and that the job need to make sense. That you getting a check every week, you got a 401k, an IRA, you need all that to be happening. And Todd said that there was another hurdle in their situation, and then that turned into their relationship, that the mom did not like him because she felt like I was after her money. Which goes back to this, the things that you put in this response that make it seem like you're all about the money. And when it comes to that prenup and him saying that he felt like he was under duress, I don't understand that. Because if I was a man and I'm looking at this paperwork and I'm not liking what I'm seeing, I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not signing it. And that made me think back to Steven Jackson, when he told his story about his situation with his fiance. He said it was months in advance where they went through the prenup situation, and he let her know, if you do not sign this prenup, we're not getting married. At first she felt like it was a love thing. If you love me, why do I need to sign the prenup? And that's also something that Kandi said in the Black Love episode, where she was trying to get Todd to see it's not about love. I love you, but I'm trying to position it to where, well, what happens when we don't love each other anymore? That's what she was trying to get Todd to see, right? So going back to Steven Jackson, he said, for those of you who don't understand, who feel like, oh, this is just some paperwork that you can write up in a day. No, it doesn't happen like that. There are steps to this. And I was like, okay, let me go look this up. So there are steps to it. What you start off with, you bring all your assets and all this, that, and the other to the table. We're going to, put it all down. Then you get you get your lawyer. I'm gonna get my lawyer. One of the lawyers will draw up this first draft. We're gonna come back to the table. We're gonna read through it. If there's anything that needs to be negotiated, we're gonna tweak some over here, tweak some over there. And once we agreed upon everything, then we will get that final draft and we will sign it, right? According to that family law website that I went to, it stated that the prenup should be signed at least 30 to 40 days prior to the wedding to ensure it is not signed under pressure. They said if that happens, the person who feels like that they signed it under pressure, they can argue that and make a claim of duress, or that they felt threatened, scared, or pressured. And even though this is something difficult to try to prove in court, they will have to prove that either they were denied counsel, they felt threatened, or signed too close to the wedding date. And if a court finds any of those things valid according to the proof that is provided, they can invalidate the prenup, right? So when Stack said that on that day, he said they done made it to the wedding day all the way up. She's like, I'm going to sign it. You get to the wedding day. He knows that it hadn't been signed. He said, so his nanny came in there in the room where the guys were getting dressed. And she's like, baby, I'm just coming to check on you. Make sure you're good, ready for this day. He was like, yeah, I'm ready. But if she ain't signed that prenup, it won't be no wedding. So she's like, baby, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. She going to sign. I'm going to go down here and get it. So he said everybody got dressed and got in the elevator, went down to the little holding room that they going to be in when, before it's time to walk out for the wedding. He said the nanny come back in there. She got this worried look on her face. She pulled him to the side and said, baby, she ain't signing. He was like, I think he said Stefan Marbury. It says his name. The Marbury dude, he was in there. Somebody else, he said. And he said, they was like, what? She ain't signed the prenup. Oh, ain't gonna be no wedding today. I don't know what she thinking. So the pastor was in there. Now, this is the pastor that she wanted. He said that she really pushed for this person. So the pastor gonna say, hold up, young man. Like, don't let your emotions take over. It's okay. I don't believe in prenups, and the Lord don't either. And Stack said, he was like, I don't mean no disrespect, but my tax bracket and yours, they not the same. So it won't be a wedding today. So all the guys go back up to the room. They start getting undressed. And he said he just broke down crying. He said, because I really loved her. I wanted to marry her. But she would not sign that prenup. And she already knew if she didn't sign it, there was not going to be a wedding. He said, so then somebody come down there and tell him, hey, she going through it down there. She says she'll sign it. He said, now mind you, a couple of his friends, people that had been married, been divorced, told him, and even one of his lawyers told him, listen, if it gets to the point where she don't sign it, and then she realized that you're serious, and then all of a sudden she's like, I'll sign it, don't let her sign it. Because if she do, and later on decide to contest it, she could say that she did it under pressure. She could say that she felt like you weren't going to marry her, that you was going to walk away, and she felt like she needed to do it. Then he go down there and talk to her, and he said when he walk in, she crying. She is crying up a storm, and she was like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll sign it. Please, just forgive me. I'll sign it." And he said he looked at her and walked out, because you're not going to sign this paperwork. You have months to get this done. You said that you were going to do it. You didn't do it. We get to the wedding date that I told you, if you do not sign this prenup, we're not getting married. He said, I don't care nothing about that $400,000 that went into this. We still fit to go downstairs and have a good time, because we going to make use of all this money that I done spent. And he said after that, we still went to the club. He was adamant about, if you do not sign this prenup, I'm not getting married. And I feel like, as a man, that's what Todd should have did. I don't like what this prenup is saying. My lawyer is telling me he should have had at least 4 to 8 to 10 weeks in advance to really look through it, comb through it, and if there was any changes that needed to be made, they could have been made before the wedding date. So you're signing it, in my opinion, to try to prove to her mama, the one that you're not marrying, that you're not after her money. He even made a similar statement over there on the Black Love episode, because he said that the day after the wedding, he had a project, I think in LA, and he was gone for like 3 to 4 months, and the reason he took it was to prove to her family that he wasn't after her money. So you're gonna say that you're under duress, and if they feel like, if they decide, oh, we're gonna pull these clips or pull this episode, or what else do you have, and if they feel like he was under duress, they can throw that prenup out. This is just crazy to me, because it's gonna make people feel like you were like it was actually a scheme. Because as a man, 1, you should have never quit your job. And as a man, 2, you should not have signed that prenup. I don't care what her mama said. I don't care how her aunties felt. If you did not agree with what was in that prenup, you should not have signed it. And then here you went on 10 years, and now it gets to this point, because I don't even know what made Kandi file for the divorce. What happened that led to, okay, I'm finna file this divorce. I know she said irreconcilable differences, but still, what happened, or what is it that you all could not work through that had to have Kandi be like, you know what, yeah, this ain't gonna work, I'm finna go ahead and file the papers. What happened? But a lot of this, like you coming back with this whining about duress and all that type of stuff, I don't know. It's not a good look, and it do have people feeling like, hey, Mama Joyce was right all along. But tell me, what do y'all think about this? Get down in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later.